What is up, Lock Talk family? It's your boy Jason, and I'm back for another YouTube video breakdown. Free NBA picks for today, January 23rd, 2025. And fellas, ladies, if you've been enjoying this type of content, you've been like me, coming up here and dropping plays every single day, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. It only helps me help you push out more videos just like this. I want to do more than just picks. I'm going to drop player props, educational content. So help me grow this channel, and let's get to 1,000 subs just to start off. And yeah, man, let's talk about these games. But before I do, we've been absolutely crushing it in Premium. Yesterday, I went 1 and 2 of my main plays, but the YouTube videos actually did very, very well. We had a winning day on the YouTube channel. So, I mean, hopefully you guys took some of that information and made some bets. Some of the highlights for me that really did really well. First of all, the Rockets covered and beat the Cavaliers. That was a great one. A lot of people were on the Cavaliers that game. The Utah Jazz covered and almost beat at certain points the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm glad certain plays like that did well, because I got a lot of hate from people from putting those plays out. I also believe the Warriors also covered against the Kings. They did not win. They only won by 6 points. The line was at 7.5. So that was another winner as well. So guys, if you've been enjoying this content, man, make sure you watch to the very end. Listen to everything I'm saying, because it obviously can help you make some money if you can't get into Premium with me and all my other guys. But if you do want to join my Premium, I have a way for you guys to join for absolutely free. There's 2 ways. You can join us on Novig. Use code LOCK. Get a 50% deposit discount on your first deposit. It has the best lines in the industry. They have a peer-to-peer system plus an exchange type system. So you could bet lines that are usually -110 from -105, things like that. We also have another app, Vivid Picks. Vivid Picks, just like Prize Picks and Underdog, but they're offering an insane deposit bonus, a $250 deposit bonus plus a $25 secure pick. So if you sign up using code LOCKTALK, you'll get a free week in Premium. So use any of these 2, join us for absolutely free in my Premium. Not only do you get to know the plays for the YouTube beforehand, but you also get all my plays that I'm actually betting and giving out as my record in Premium. But guys, let's get straight into it. We have 10 games today. 1 game is very early, a 2 p.m. game. I don't know if this is like a makeup game, but we have 1 early game. Here's the first game on the board. The first game on the board is the San Antonio Spurs against the Indiana Pacers, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And look, man, simply put, the Indiana Pacers have been one of the best teams in the league over the past month, 2 months maybe. They really stepped it up everywhere, man. Offensively, defensively, they have one of the highest defensive ratings in the last 5 games. And yeah, man, I mean, look, there's not too many bad things I want to say. The only thing is San Antonio, Sohan is a game time decision, but I have not seen him in the starting lineup as of yet. The game is technically going to start pretty early today. But yeah, Indiana Pacers only 3.5 point favorites at home. And look, man, I like the Indiana Pacers. I think San Antonio's very good, but I think, you know, they're very hit or miss. I mean, 19-22 on the season. They're almost at a 500 record. They definitely can get there. But Indiana, I think their pace, their defense. The only problem is obviously Victor Wembanyama. How will he be able to be contained by this Pacers defense? But I mean, they're gonna have to have some type of answer. But for me, man, I think I'm gonna roll with the Pacers. The public's on them, but I think the Pacers are the better team. I think to push that pace, gonna go attack the basket, even Victor Wembanyama over there. But even if not, they definitely can shoot threes. They have guys that are definitely very good 3-point shooters. I mean, Pacers are one of the most effective 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. And San Antonio, if anything, their main thing just really attacking or protecting the basket. Pacers not really attacking the 3-point line that much, but I think if they can make this adjustment, they can definitely get the victory here. So playing at home, give me the Pacers -3.5. All right, guys, so that's the early game. The rest of the games at 7 p.m. onwards, so if you do miss that first game, it's not a big deal. There are so many games to bet on. You don't have to bet every single game. I'm just giving you the information so you guys can help you make a decision, and then later on, you guys can join us in Premium and get all the plays, the props, the picks. But the next game, man, this one's going to be interesting. 7 p.m. Eastern time, the Portland Trailblazers against the Orlando Magic. And look, man, the biggest thing in this game is that Franz Wagner might be back. So Orlando, man, 23-22. We faded them last time against the Raptors. Now they're back at home in Orlando, their best spot. They're going to face a Portland Trailblazers team who has a huge injury report. So let me go through some of the guys who are on here. DeAndre Ayton's on here. Kamara's on here. Anthony Simons is on here. Murray on the bench is on here. So I don't know exactly who's playing. Obviously, Portland's not at the same level as the Magic, especially if they got their main guys back, being Franz Wagner and Banchero. Even Wendell Carter Jr., I would say he's the real starting center for the Magic, even though Goga Batadze and Mo Wagner have been very, very good. That being said, though, I mean, if Orlando actually has everyone back and they're healthy, I could definitely see Orlando covering and beating the brakes off the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland can do maybe good fairly early, but there's so many injuries on this game. I don't know, because even if Portland has all their guys, if Orlando has all their guys, I think Orlando could definitely beat them down. I think 8.5 points, it sounds like a lot given how terrible the Magic kind of have been doing, but I think this is a great bounce back spot at home. If they get Franz Wagner back, I think they can beat this team by double digits fairly early. All right, guys, here's the third game on the board, but before I do, let me get some coffee. All right, let's go. Toronto Raptors against the Atlanta Hawks. This is a 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and Atlanta just played. They're on a back-to-back they went against the Pistons, got beat by the Pistons. Now Toronto is going to be playing on the road. And still no Emmanuel Quickly. Again, if you've been watching all my videos, I think that's a positive. But on the Atlanta side, it looks like everyone for the most part is going to be playing. I mean, the only main guy off the bench is Nance, and then Richardson, or however you say his name. They're not slated to play today, but they have Trae Young, Jalen Johnson. Look, Atlanta 4.5 point favorites at home. Not that big of a spread, but dude, I've said it time and time again. Atlanta is one of these teams, man. I'm carrying some of these trends from years prior, but Atlanta, when they have to cover more than a bucket, they have not been the best team, man. But I'll say this though as well. The Raptors on their own right have not been a good road covering team. 9-10 on the road, while they're 15-7 at home. Like I said, man, what did I say many times when we did that play with the Magic and the Raptors? Raptors at home is their best spot. But hey, look, the Atlanta Hawks, let's see, this season are 8-11 at home, 10-14 on the road. They have not been a good covering team at all this season. They're actually one of the weaker covering teams in the NBA. They're not in the bottom 5, but they're the lowest 8. So yeah, man, look, I'm not trying to go off trends. I do think Toronto, if you look at their matchup, I mean, they're not really good that well defensively anywhere. The one thing they are good at, though, is attacking the rim. That's the one place that they do with a lot of frequency, and they're somewhat effective there, man. But they attack the rim, and if there's any weakness that they can exploit in Atlanta, in my opinion, it's probably that. But the thing is, Atlanta's pretty effective there. They're probably the least effective at covering the three-point shot, and as I said in other videos, man, we can't look at these stats too hard, but look, Toronto doesn't take a lot of threes, but they have guys that can shoot a ton of threes. Scotty Barnes, even some of their bench players can shoot threes. RJ Barrett. So I think Toronto can make the adjustments. They're putting it together, in my opinion. I think 4.5 points. It's not as many points I want. I would probably want like 5.5 because Pistons closed at 4.5, and I think the Pistons are a level above the Toronto Raptors. But of course, on a back-to-back, it may be tough for this Hawks team, but give me the Raptors plus 4.5. Everyone's going to be probably wondering what we got, but everyone's on the Hawks, man. The public's all over the Hawks. So let's go fade the public, man. The Raptors plus 4.5. All right, guys. We got our next game, and this one's an interesting one because we got the Miami Heat against the Milwaukee Bucks. And no Jimmy Butler on the Miami side. If you guys did not see, Nate suspended him again. I mean, dude, just trade Jimmy, bro. Just trade him. He doesn't have to be on this team. Like, he's not been beneficial. So they're going with a totally different squad. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, Brandon Bauer starting at the power forward, and then Ware is starting at the center. I think that's a great move, actually. Ware is actually a very good center. He's very tall, gets a lot of rebounds. But we're going to face a Milwaukee team. Looks like they're healthy as well. They have pretty much everyone playing. Giannis will be playing as well. 224 over under. Yeah, man. Look, Giannis is a beast, man. He's one of a kind. This game is going to be tough, but I mean, look, a big spread, 7-point spread for the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, like I said before, in terms of the offense, right? Who's been, I guess, the better offensive team? Milwaukee's definitely stepped it up, man. In the beginning of the season, they were not that great. Their main thing, obviously, is shooting threes. For the Miami Heat, it's very similar. They shoot a lot of threes, and if there's any place where I guess maybe the Miami Heat are the weakest, it's probably at the rim. But they allow you to shoot threes, man. But they've been very effective at stopping them. No one's been really that good, in my opinion, at stopping Milwaukee recently, stopping threes. Giannis is too much of a beast. There's a lot of points. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of points, but I think the Bucks can definitely get the job done here. But not in love with it. I think this game could play a little bit close, but Miami Heat, their flow, their offense, their defense hasn't been as good ever since Jimmy, this whole prime when Jimmy has been coming up. So maybe him being out makes them play better, but I mean, I don't think Hero and Adebayo alone can carry this team. They need another star in there. They need someone to really lead the team. There's no clear leader on that team. So give me the Milwaukee Bucks -7 at home. All right, guys, we have 5 more games on the board, man. So give me some patience. I'll try to get the rest done in at least 8 minutes. But if you guys, again, want to show up and get in for completely free in my premium chat, all you have to do is just go on one of our partner apps. I put it in the pinned comment down below. But if anything, I also did put something special. Get in for a 50% discount on the daily. Just use that code down below, and we'll get you added. All right, man. So next game, we got the Dallas Mavericks against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And look, man, both teams on a back-to-back. OKC had a very, very close game. Dallas also had a very, very close game. They shot that last-minute 3. Whoever bet on the Timberwolves did not cover because of Kyrie's last 3. But looks like everyone's playing. Maybe Clay might be coming in. He's on the starting lineup, but is a game-time decision. I see in some metrics. So we'll see if he ends up playing, man. I don't know. As of right now, OKC -13 is a big spread. Obviously, Dallas, they definitely probably want to get that win in. I like props in this game, actually. But, yeah, I'm not touching this. I think OKC, they could cover this spread, though. But Dallas showed that they have some dog in them, man. They almost beat the Timberwolves, and I think the Timberwolves are definitely the better team without almost a lot of players missing on this Dallas team. They are missing a lot of guys. Not in love with this game, not in love with the spread. It's a game I'm probably going to avoid, but if I was to make a bet, I'll probably rock with Oklahoma City Thunder -13. But yeah, shout out to the Jazz, man. I told you Jazz were going to cover that game. Next game on the board, you had the Sacramento Kings against the Denver Nuggets. Sacramento, 8.5-point dogs on the road. Denver, 8.5-point favorites, man. Look, Denver's been rolling, bro. Been rolling. Look, they're big favorites at home. Sacramento on a back-to-back. This is going to be a tough back-to-back. They just played last night. And, they won that game. They beat Golden State. They didn't cover that game. But now they're getting a lot of points, man. I'll have to look at more metrics on them on back-to-backs. But, for the most part, I think Denver's been completely rolling. They're on a different level right now. 27-16. What a turnaround in their season. It's tough to play anywhere in a back-to-back, but especially in Denver. Like I said before, that thin air, that environment is very, very tough. But, Sacramento's have older guys. There's a lot of points. I'm not in love with the spread. I think this could be really 50-50. And if I take a look at a lot of the money and where the bets are at, people are really split, even though the spread's so big. Again, though, on a back-to-back, I think this is tough. I'll probably lean with Denver -8.5, but I don't love it. I think this game should really be capped around the 7.5. It is 1 point too much. So I guess technically there's value on Sacramento, but I do think Denver has the capacity to cover given how they've been playing. Because I don't love teams on the back-to-back. Because without the back-to-back, I think this game's really like around a 5.5, maybe 6-point game. But with the back-to-back, the situation, I get why the line's where it's at. But yeah, man, I'll take Denver, but not in love with this game either. All right, we have 3 more games left, though. Next game on the board, we got the Chicago Bulls against the Golden State Warriors. And man, Golden State, man, they're falling off the train. They're below 500, 21-22 on the season. The Bulls are 19-25. Both teams, man, kind of disappointed. I thought the Bulls might do a little bit better this year, but yeah, man, it's basically a pick-em type game. I do think in the back-to-back, it doesn't really matter. Golden State can still do fairly well. This will be probably a fast-paced game, but Golden State has not been playing as fast since Podominski, Kuminga, Draymond Green have been out, so they're not in the flow as much given all the injuries. With that being said, I think Chicago can possibly get the job done here. It looks like they're gonna have some of their guys back. They'll have Dosunmu back. Colby White is still out, but Dosunmu's basically almost a great replacement for him. So in this game, man, I'll probably take the Chicago Bulls +1.5. Give me that. I think Golden State, yes, they're at home, but they're on a back-to-back. I think Chicago, even in a non-back-to-back situation, their pace can possibly put them in a situation where they can be competitive in this game. Obviously, I think the main thing is, can Chicago stop the 3-ball? And I'll say this, man, Chicago's one of the best 3-point defensive teams in the NBA. So I love Chicago in the spot on a back-to-back. You know how old some of these guys are, man. And the Warriors don't have their main guys, man. So I think we take Chicago +1.5, -110. Give me the Bulls. All right, and here's the last 2 games. Technically this should be a great game, but given everything that's been going on with these teams, man, I don't know. The Boston Celtics against the LA Lakers. Boston only laying 5 points on the road. That's not usual, but there are a lot of guys that might be out. Looks like Porzingis might be out. and Drew Holiday. Lakers, looks like they might have everyone playing. Davis, James, they look like they're good to go. So, look, in this game, man, Boston, like I've said, have not been covering spreads. They won a back-to-back in overtime. They played the Clippers. I don't know. I mean, there's not a great situational spot for them, but they don't have to do too much travel. It's not a big travel spot. It's basically like Knicks and Brooklyn travel spot. So, yeah, it's a back-to-back for Boston. We'll see if they get up for this game. But, I mean, this technically is a very big rivalry game off the history of the Lakers and Celtics. But not that any of that matters. On paper, Boston's a much better team. If there's any place where maybe Boston is a little bit vulnerable, let's take a look. I want to go see where Boston can be the most vulnerable. It's probably at the mid-range shot. But in terms of the Lakers, what they're good at, they attack the rim a lot. That's their main thing, attacking the rim. They are pretty good defensively in the mid-range area, so maybe they can go over there, but if they're going to try to attack the rim, I mean, Boston, they're very, very good there. But we'll see who they end up starting in the center position. Obviously, Porzingis is a big miss because they need someone to cover Davis. If they use a few of the other guys, I'm forgetting the guy's name, but we'll see, man. I think Boston can cover the spread. So even on the back-to-back, even on double overtime, I've seen it time and time again. Just because you went to double overtime, but there's no travel, not big trouble at least. Give me the Boston Celtics -5 on the road. All right, guys, here's the last game on the board. And it was a crazy one, man. Clippers on a back-to-back, but they have supposedly might have all their starters back. James Harden looks like he's out though, but Powell, Leonard, and Zubac look like they're playing. They're playing the Washington Wizards. Washington laying 14 points on the road. Look, I'll say this again and again. It looks like it's always a value spot for the Wizards, but for some reason they cannot even get close to covering any big spread. Even with all these guys, all their talent. Look, I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to take the Clippers. Even on the back-to-back with overtime, I'll still take the Clippers. Even at this big spread, I do, however, think this is a better game for props. But for the sake of the video, I would take the Clippers -14. There's no way I'm even getting points with the Wizards. Even the situational spot's not that great for the Clippers. Wizards have been literally the worst team in the NBA. So please, if you've been betting, let me see, I'm gonna pull up a stat real quick. If you've been betting these three teams at all this season, you've been going bankrupt. The 76ers, the Suns, and the Wizards have been the three worst covering teams in the NBA. Let me say it again. Suns, Sixers, Wizards. If you've been betting those three teams, you've been going bankrupt. Please do not try to bet this team. Even if the situational spot looks so great, there are so many other games and things you can bet on. Don't bet on this game, at least if you're going to bet the Wizards. But guys, thank you so much for watching all these videos, man. If you've been here to the end, man, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another one. I'll see you all on the next one.